There are hundreds of good habits that you've probably considered starting at some point. Go to the gym, wake up early, eat healthy, quit drinking. These are the common ones that most people attempt in the new year but quickly give up. Although those are certainly great habits, I feel like they're so basic that people don't often take them seriously. So here are 5 more advanced habits that I've started doing this year. If you can stay consistent with these, it will naturally make sticking to all the other basic habits feel effortless. Habit number 1 is essentialism. And this idea comes from a book I've been reading lately by Greg McCone. And basically essentialism can be summed up as the disciplined pursuit of less but better. And essentialism seems to me like the true key to achieving pretty much any goal in life. To me, one of the main differences between average people and successful people can be summed up in 2 pictures, one of the non-essentialist and one of the essentialist. Many people don't practice essentialism enough, so their life ends up looking like this picture of the non-essentialist. They fill their life with noise and realistically have hundreds of lines dividing their energy. They're slowly moving forward in life, but not in any particular direction, and so they end up getting nowhere. I know I could definitely improve on my pursuit of essentialism and cut out a lot of the noise in my life, but if you think about your average day and all the little things sucking your energy, the moment you get out of bed, you gotta decide what to wear in the morning. You might check your phone and see a message that you need to reply to, and then an email pops up, you need to reply to that. You might have some schoolwork, or you have to go to your day job, or maybe you're thinking about how nice it would be to have your own business and not have to commute to your day job. Or maybe you're still thinking about what happened on the last episode of that TV show that you watched the night before. You get the idea. All of these are sucking our energy in various directions, preventing us from truly focusing on the essentials and unlocking our full potential. Then we have the essentialist, one single line to which they devote 100% of their focus and energy and rapidly achieve massive levels of success. Think of your favorite athletes, musicians, businessmen. Do you think on their come up their focus was divided between like 100 different things? Or were they dialed in on one project, one goal, one dream to which they gave it their all? Essentialism isn't necessarily about being able to do more things in life. It's more about cutting out the noise, picking the right things to do for the right reasons at the right time, and giving those few activities as much of your energy as possible. At this point, essentialism might sound more like a mindset than a habit, but it's really both. One thing that the author talks about is that essentialism is something that you really need to relentlessly pursue every day in all areas of your life. You need to make it a habit. But unlike the habit of daily exercise, for example, where it's pretty straightforward, each day you can either check off I went to the gym or I didn't go to the gym. Essentialism is something that you constantly have the opportunity to apply in every second of your day. It's more of, I guess, an advanced habit, which makes it that much more rewarding if you can stay consistent with it. Next up, we've got shut down all screen devices 2 hours before bed. A lot of the common bad habits like watching too much TV or being addicted to video games or social media all involve looking at a screen device. So if you make a rule that you have to stop using all computers, TVs, phones, etc. 2 hours before your bedtime, you will likely cut out a lot of the bad habits and pave the way for good ones. While you aren't staring at screens for the last 2 hours of your day, you might end up reading, journaling, meditating, planning out your next day, cleaning your room. I tend to finish my day with reading because it's a great opportunity for me to learn new things and it helps me unwind at the end of the day. But worst case scenario, even if you don't feel like incorporating other habits during that time, you'll scientifically improve your sleep by not looking at bright lights before bedtime, or you'll just end up getting more sleep and feel better and more productive the next day. Next up, I've started doing a morning mindset review. While on this self-improvement journey, I've come across dozens of values, beliefs, mindsets, ideas that I want to implement into my life. Whether it's through reading a book, watching a YouTube video, taking an online course, I would learn about all these mindsets and ways to approach life, and in the moment they'd be very eye-opening, but then by the next day it'd be the last thing on my mind. I would completely forget about it until I came across it again if I was lucky enough to do so. So that's why I started creating a document that basically lists out all the beliefs and mindsets and values that I want to implement into my daily life. I framed the document as sort of a description of the 2.0 version or max level version of myself that I want to become. For example, when I learned about the concept of essentialism, I thought to myself, oh yeah, like Miles 2.0 would definitely be an essentialist. And so in this document, I wrote a brief description about how the ideal version of myself would apply essentialism into his everyday life. So over time, as you learn more and develop your beliefs, mindsets, and values, you can continue to update and refine this document. You can turn it into a detailed description of your future self and honestly add in more than just mindsets. You can describe your physical appearance, your future home, career, family, whatever it is that you want your life to become like. Next, the key step is to read through this document out loud every single day to refresh your memory and start the day on the right note and align your thoughts and actions conversations with this ideal version of yourself. I've started by just reading it once out loud in the morning, although I imagine if you read it again at night, it would be even better, or I've even heard of people recording themselves reading it and listening to that recording as they fall asleep. If you get into the habit of constantly calibrating your mind to that of the ideal version of yourself, then that ideal future life will naturally start to become a reality. Next up, we've got cold exposure. And this is one that I continue to learn has incredible benefits, but I haven't really been able to stay consistent with it for the long term. I imagine you've heard of cold exposure or cold showers before, but if you haven't, it's basically where you get into a cold shower, or a lot of people use cold plunges, for about 3 minutes, and it gives you all sorts of benefits from boosted dopamine to fat loss to decreased inflammation, better sleep, better recovery, etc. One of the biggest benefits that I've found is that when you do cold exposure, especially first thing in the morning, all the other things in your day that you thought were difficult instantly seem a lot easier to do. At one point, I was doing cold showers for about a month straight, and it honestly didn't get any easier each time. Stepping into that cold water first thing in the morning when you just got out of a nice warm bed and every instinct in your body is telling you not to do it, really feels like the hardest thing you'll do all day. Once you get past that, the rest of your day will feel like a breeze. It'll feel way easier to hit that workout or write that essay for school or do whatever else you got going on. Habit number 5 is to optimize your diet for productivity. This is another huge one that goes beyond the basic habit of just eating healthy, but it just so happens that optimizing your diet for productivity is also an extremely healthy, if not the healthiest diet out there in my experience. Basically what I've done is start with an elimination diet of just meat, salt, and water, and gradually over time start adding in certain foods to test out how they make me feel and how they impact my productivity and overall health. It might sound a little crazy, but trust me, in my experience and everyone I know who's tried a diet like this, it's been a complete game changer for their health and productivity. If you're interested in learning more about how to use nutrition to skyrocket your productivity, click this video here. As always, do something today that your future self would thank you for.